Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, January 2nd, 2019. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Inspector Henry Providence of the Traffic Branch of the RSVG Police Force said the 2018 Christmas period was a successful one for the department. In an interview with SVG-TV News, Inspector Henry Providence says the department recorded a total of 12 accidents up to December 26th with no fatalities. He said there were also less accidents during the same period for 2017 and that the Traffic Branch is satisfied with the results.
However, in 2017 though, we had just 9 reported accidents. Somebody might ask, okay, 12 in 2018, 9 in 2017, yet you're saying it was successful. And yes, we still maintain it was successful because we recognize and appreciate that over 2017 on to 2018 there would have been a number of motor vehicle that has come into the country. So because there were more vehicles in 2018 than 2017, it is quite naturally expected that there is the likelihood that there would be more vehicular accidents. So, but the 12 accidents that has been recorded, there was nothing really serious about any of them. And as a matter of fact, there was none recorded on the 25th of December, Christmas Day. There were no reported of any accident throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Christmas Day. However, in 2017, there was just one that was recorded on the 25th of December. But all in all, it was a very good season for us.
The veteran traffic corps said their work during the Christmas season extended beyond the roads of SVG, as they also played an integral role in maintaining peace and order during the 9 Mornings festivities.
And the Christmas season did not just include the Christmas shopping and all that, it included as well 9 Morning Festival, and the department played a very integral part in that as well to ensure that 9 Morning was successful. And again, we work hand in hand with the committee, the 9 Morning Committee, to ensure that the 9 Morning Festival throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not just in capital Kingston, was successful. So yes, as I said a while ago, very successful Christmas season for us. We are quite satisfied from a departmental level, and we're really looking forward for 2019, and we're looking forward as well in working along with the committees, whether the 9 Morning Committee or any other committee that is going to assist us in respect of traffic and traffic regulation in the country.
Meanwhile, Inspector Providence said the Traffic Branch will be redoubling its efforts this year in order to maintain law and order on the roads of SVG. He said while they patiently await the revamping of the Traffic Act, which will allow the police greater leverage in dealing with various issues of concern on the roads, they will not be slacking off on the job. He said the department has achieved some successes in clamping down on noise coming from vehicles on the roads, and they will soon be turning their attention to other pressing issues.
Say to the public on a whole is that with the police, the department would continue to go out there and prosecute and ensure that these pieces of legislation are policed properly. So do not expect us to relax in 2019. We were forceful at the latter part of 2018 in respect of noise and music from motor vehicles and the lights from motor vehicles. And there are a number of other issues that we have identified as well. We have identified the whole issue of number plate creeping back in again, persons doing anything in regards to the number plate. We have seen issues where persons are removing their number plate from one area and putting it in another area where it is not that visible. Expect us to tackle some of those issues early this year. Expect us to tackle the issue of tint and so forth once we have the legislation to deal with that, because that seems to be a very sore point again, where persons are tinting their entire vehicles, and you're not in a position where you can even see who's driving a particular vehicle. Right, so these are some of the issues that we intend to really correct early in 2019.
The Traffic Corps said the proper inspection of omnibuses and trucks will also be a focus during this year.
Omnibuses and not privately owned vehicles, but trucks and so forth, where the law requires them to be inspected twice per year, and too often we are seeing some of these vehicles, once they are paid the yearly fee, that they will not return for the second inspection. These are some of the areas that we have identified and we are hoping to tackle for 2019. We have spoken in the past about persons in respect of the age of persons driving omnibuses, these are some of the areas that, but first and foremost, if we're going to tackle these areas, we have to have the proper legislation in place first, because too often we are seeing persons just being conducted today and tomorrow they're driving an omnibus with 18 passengers in their hand, lives in their hand. And these are some of the areas that the department is concerned about, very concerned about, and we are hoping that we could really see the new Traffic Act come on stream and really tackle out some of these burning issues that we have right now.
Inspector Providence said officers at a traffic branch cannot do it all in maintaining law and order on the nation roads, and is appealing for the cooperation of officers in the outer districts.
Once the officers in the outer district are on board with us, it makes us traffic officers in Kingston work a little easier, and it makes everything a little more easier for us. And we have to also look at the fact that when we do these traffic drives and these traffic clampdown and checks and so forth, it really clamp down on other issues. Criminal elements as well are being looked at when we do that. So that's why we're really insisting that in 2019, early this year, that we're going to really have the outer district on board with us. So expect to see the police, the traffic police, along with the outer district police doing some checks, and in a sense getting them to do their part. Because once all of us come together as a department, as a unit, as an organization, and do our part, it makes, at the end of the day, all of us work easier. It makes the general public more confident in the police, and it also makes St. Vincent and the Grenadines a safer place.
And members of the SVG Coast Guard Service were busy over the holiday period as they responded to several distress calls from neighboring St. Lucia. Operations officer with the SVG Coast Guard, Lieutenant Dion Henry, said they have been successful in rescuing 3 St. Lucian fishermen on board the fishing vessel Shiloh on December 28. However, he said they have been unsuccessful in their search and rescue for another missing boat with 4 persons on board, and that they have forwarded the information to their original counterparts.
We had rescued 3 St. Lucian on the 28th of the 12th, 2018, of Obra Village. They were towed into Obra Fisheries Complex by the Coast Guard. However, the Coast Guard received a report of another St. Lucian vessel in distress, that is fishing vessel To God Be the Glory. We conduct searches and put our SOPs for search and rescue. We inform Trinidad and Tobago of the searches that we conducted with negative sighting. The other Lucian that were reported rescue in the news may have been rescued by another Coast Guard, maybe St. Lucia Coast Guard or Martinique Coast Guard. We can confirm with Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard as to who exactly rescued these persons in distress. You know, the 3 that we rescued on the 20th went back home on the 29th.
Lieutenant Commandant Henry said that the Coast Guard is usually busy patrolling the waters of SVG to ensure the safety of fishermen, and officers have been responding favorably to distress calls.
It depends on the weather. Depends on the weather condition. Sometimes we get maybe twice a week. Maybe up to 3-4 times. All depends on the weather condition and the amount of vessels at sea fishing. Normally, once the search and rescue, we extend courtesies to the persons who are in distress. As I said, it's distress. So we bring them to Coast Guard base, or if fisheries is open, we inform the fisheries authorities and they provide accommodation for them. And the next day, we assist them with the repairs for the vessels and escort them maybe out of our waters back to their destination.
The police here are investigating the circumstances surrounding a shooting incident that occurred in Otley Hall on New Year's Day. The police say that a 34-year-old unemployed resident of Otley Hall was allegedly approached by a lone gunman and was shot on his right hand. The incident reportedly occurred in the vicinity of the Otley Hall public bath about 8:53 p.m. on New Year's Day. The Otley Hall resident was taken to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, where he received medical treatment. A director of forestry, Fitzgerald Providence, is encouraging persons here engaged in hunting to stay within the confines of the law. In a telephone interview today with SVG-TV News, Providence said with just a month remaining for the hunting season, persons will be tempted to store meat for consumption later on in the year. He, however, warns that this practice is illegal and explains why.
To not go out there and start hunting to put up, because again, if you have caught with animals beyond the hunting season, you will be breaking the law. If it goes outside, if you have animals outside of 3 days after the closing of the hunting season, it would be deemed illegal if you are caught with it, because we don't know if you hunted it the night before or a month before. That is something that we persons have raised concerns about, and it's something we're looking now into in review in terms of persons getting permission to hold animals beyond a particular period. That is also under review, that we look in terms of improving our legislation, because we know now people can freeze, they can dry animals and put them up for several months. So we are mindful that persons may want to enjoy wild meat longer than the hunting season, but we ask that you stick within the rules of the law.
The forestry director also appeals to hunters to ensure that their air rifles and other hunting equipment are properly concealed.
So that I observe, like persons who are hunting with air rifles and so on, they usually walk around with them exposed. And also cutlasses. We ask persons when they're walking around, when they go into hunting, when they have their implements like guns and cutlasses, that they conceal them, so that there wouldn't be a threatening thing as they go walking through the communities. And we'll be mindful that we are in the tourist season, not only the foreign tourists, but also returning Vincentians who come in. And again, we ask persons when they catch the animals to have them in a humane condition and not tie them up and have them exposed in a very inhumane manner. That is not very pleasing to the sight of a lot of our visitors, and even locals have complained about the way they treat particularly the iguanas when they are captured.
Providence took the opportunity to remind persons engaged in hunting activities not to catch undersized prey.
Private land without permission by the landowners. Also in terms of sticking to the size of the animals, particularly the iguanas. We don't want you hunting animals smaller than 13 inches from the snout to the starting of the tail. That's 13 inches. Those animals are immature and shouldn't be hunted, because you need them to mature and continue to propagate and sustain the levels of the population. Also, the manico which is hunted, do not hunt them when they are pregnant, and also agoutis and so on. You don't hunt immature or pregnant individuals.
It was a busy day today for local tour guides and taxi operators, with 2 cruise ships docked at Port Kingston. Several more cruise ships are expected to dock at Port Kingston and in the Grenadines in the coming days. Larissa Pugsley-Kidd tells us more in this report.
The 2 cruise ships docked at Port Kingston today were the Costa Magica and the TUI cruise line, with close to 5,000 passengers combined. The smaller cruise ship was expected to dock at Mairu. However, due to rough waters, it diverted and docked at Port Kingston. The 2 are the first to dock at Port Kingston for this year, as the cruise ship season continues into 2019. Most of the passengers speak Spanish and other foreign languages. However, we caught up with a few who also speak English, and they gave us their impression of the island.
It's really nice. Different points of views. We went to the Fort Charlotte and then in the mainland, and back to the beach on the other side.
What is nice about the cruise is the fact that we can discover different places, and maybe we can come back for a longer stay. So that's nice to come out of the ship and take a tour and visit the place where we are. We're on the coastal boat and we are on a safari, a tour of the island, So far we went to Fort Charlotte, which is very nice, and we could have explanation from a guide, and we could see the wonderful view. And then we had a tour, and we could see the countryside, and everything was very nice. I saw that the houses are very colorful, very nice. People were waving at us, so it was nice, and we had a chance to swim in.
One tour guide said the day was packed as the visitors were expected to be taken on tours at various tourist sites.
Okay, I think they enjoyed themselves. We went, as she said, Fort Charlotte. We went through the interior to Mespo. Then we went at Brighton Salpan to get a little swim. So they are now heading back where they can get their lunch and maybe later explore Kingston a little.
Okay. So
On New Year's Day, there was one cruise ship docked in Beckway, and tomorrow there will be another 2 in the Grenadines. For the cruise ship season, SVG is expected to have 273 port calls. Reporting for SVG-TV News, I am Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
The prize-giving ceremony for the 2018 Nine Mornings Festival will take place this Saturday, January 5th from 9:30 a.m. at the Peace Memorial Hall. At the ceremony, prizes will be distributed to the various zonal and national winners in the Vinleg Community Lighting Competitions, the Best Lit Garden, Best Nativity Scene, and Best Lit Private House. At Saturday's ceremony, the winners for the Best Nine Mornings Community, Best Christmas Community, Best Community on Parade, Best Community Christmas Song, and Most Popular Local Christmas Song will be announced. 9 individuals who have made long-standing and significant contributions to the development of the festival will also be honored at this year's ceremony. Addresses will come from Minister of Culture Cecil Sesmaki, representatives of the Nine Mornings Committee, and major sponsors the National Lottery Authority and Vinleg. The SVG Nine Mornings Committee has hailed the 2018 festivities as a success with good programs and large attendances across the country. Saturday's prize-giving ceremony is expected to be the last official act for long-standing Chairman Michael Peters. Peters, who has been involved in the development and management of the Nine Mornings Festival for the past 30 years, is stepping down from that post. The local Christmas season was celebrated under the theme, Christmas is We.